In this video we discuss all things focus related, focus settings and focus modes. Welcome to this week's video. Just before we jump into this tutorial, I'm really glad to announce that Squarespace is sponsoring this video. If you're looking to showcase or indeed sell your work online, then why not head across to www.squarespace.com. Just as a quick backstory to this video before we get going, I get asked quite a bit what shooting modes that I use in camera when I shoot my landscapes and when I shoot my street photography. So I went out with the intentions of creating a how to focus correctly video while shooting street. So I'll be using a bit of B-roll from my street photography, but since focusing is focusing, irrespective of your camera, make, model or brand, all focus systems work in the same way. I thought let's just pigeonhole it all together and make a very short but hopefully insightful video on how you guys can get the most and the best out of your cameras in regards to which focus settings you should be using. I've got a couple of models to help me and also some cars from the 1960s. I mean, already what's not to like about this video? All cameras have two focus settings, but basically you've got autofocus and you've got manual focus. Well, we'll talk about manual focus settings towards the end of the video, but for now let's just concentrate on the auto settings. The autofocus system on your camera will be broken down into three focus modes. You're likely to have AFS, AFC and AFA on your camera unless you own a Canon camera. With Canon cameras, they call theirs one shot, AI servo and AI auto. Irrespective of the name, they all work in the same way, and if you can get your head around how they work, I guarantee you'll get the most out of your camera, irrespective of what style or type or genre of photography that you currently use your camera for. The first focus mode I want to talk about is AFS and one shot. AFS stands for autofocus single and one shot is the equivalent if you're a Canon user. It's a very basic but very powerful focus mode, and it's used predominantly for focusing on static subjects. Okay, but it can be used on a variety of different, or in a variety of different situations. So don't just assume that we're only going to use it for static items and static subject matters. And well, it works very simply. All you do is depress your fire button halfway down. Once you depress your fire button halfway down, the focus points within your lens will establish a focus point on the subject matter. But where the power of this focus mode really comes into its own is you have the ability, by depressing the fire button halfway down, the focus will lock on the subject matter like I said, but then we're able to recompose the shot. That means we can focus left, right, up and down, and the focus will not move as long as you depress the fire button halfway down. So it's brilliant if you want to focus on a subject matter, but then reframe or recompose your shot. To demonstrate how this focus mode works, I'm going to photograph these two cars, but I'm going to place one slightly closer to the camera than the second one. So the gold one closest to the camera, the purple one furthest away. Make sure my settings are right in camera, which they already are. So now all I'm going to do is to choose what to focus on. So I'm going to place, I have a single point focus, is what I prefer to use. The less points you have, the more accurate your focusing will be. So I'm simply going to move my focus point onto the front of the vehicle closest to the camera. I'm then going to reframe, and when I reframe it means I can move left, right, up or down, but not backwards or forwards, just left, right, up or down. Okay, now it's most important when I reframe that I keep my finger depressed halfway down. So focus on the first vehicle, reframe by maintaining pressure on the fire button and then take the picture. And now I'm going to focus on the vehicle at the back, reframe or recompose once again, and then fully depress the camera trigger, and that is it. As simple as that. The next focus mode is AFC or AI Servo for us Canon users. AFC stands for Autofocus Constant, and it's used predominantly for moving subjects, or certainly subjects that are moving closer and further away from your camera. And how it works is simply this: just aim at the subject, depress your fire button halfway down, and as long as the focus points are focusing on the subject, imagine if my hand is a horse for instance, then as the horse gets closer and closer and closer to your lens, the focus will continuously working to ensure that the subject remains crisp and sharp in your image at all times. And it does that just by simply depressing your fire button halfway down and maintaining it there. And when you establish the shot you want, you depress it all the way down. Really, really simple to use. Again, a very, very powerful focus mode. So there you go, that's AI Servo and AFC taken care of, and that's a focus mode that's generally used for moving subjects that are generally moving closer and further away from your camera. Great for nature, great for sport, but it's also great for street photography. Not so good for landscape photography. I would prefer AFS, but there you go, that's AFC and AI Servo taken care of. AFA and AI Focus is what they call it on Canon, I believe. That's what we're going to discuss now. Well, that's really easy because we don't really use them, and that's your camera brand's way of trying to decide whether it should be one of the two that we've just mentioned, whether it's AFA or AFC, one shot or AI Servo. This gets a bit confusing. So there's three different camera focus modes, one of which completely ignore. If you want my advice, completely ignore it. So just, if your camera, check your camera now, if your camera is set to AFA or AI Focus, then change it to either single or constant. So that's the three modes taken care of which we pretty much only use two, the constant and the single one, like I said earlier. Now there's another type of focus that a lot of people actually adopt, and that's what we call back button focusing. So instead of your focusing being taken care of by your shutter button being depressed halfway down, it's now taken care of on a separate, completely independent button on the back of your camera. So that way you can touch it to focus and also take your picture completely independently. Now it's a desired taste whether you like back button focus or not, but a lot of people do use it. A lot of sports photographers use it. Well, in actual fact, let me explain how it works. Once you've enabled your back button, the normal focus when you depress your fire button halfway down is disabled. This is how it works. You would look through the viewfinder or on the live screen, depends what it is you're actually trying to take pictures of. Once you see the subject you want to focus on, you simply with your thumb press on the back button and your lens then will focus on the subject. Once you've pressed it and then taken your thumb off, the lens will no longer try and focus. So therefore, this now works in exactly the same way as your AFS, which is single, or your one shot with Canon works in exactly the same way. Just simply depress your back button focus once, take your thumb off to release it, and then you can take pictures and your camera lens will no longer try and focus again. However, if the subject is moving, you simply press and hold the back button and your camera lens will therefore work in the same way as AFC and AI Servo, which is a constant focus, focusing on something that's moving. Simply press and hold, and as you track the subject, you simply press and press and press, or press and hold if your Gatling gun is enabled. Back button focus. If you haven't tried it, try it. You might well like it. Let's talk about the focus dots. Let's just call them dots to make it simple, because when you look through the viewfinder, you'll see that as you depress your fire button halfway down, then different dots will appear. Now, some cameras might have 11 or 12 dots that could appear randomly, and some might have 64 or even higher, and of course they can be centered in the middle of your frame or throughout your frame. So my only advice to that would be, the less focus dots that you have illuminated on your sensor, on your camera, when you depress your button halfway down, the more accurate your focusing is going to be. If you're just a point and shoot user, then have as many of those focus dots lit up, so when you depress your fire button halfway down, your camera will instantly find something to focus on. But that can also cause you a whole heap of problems. If you're trying to focus through people, for instance, or trying to focus on a particular person or a particular subject, then that can get very, very difficult. So my advice to you would be, really minimize the amount of dots down. Now I literally just opt for one dot, and it's a single dot in the middle. I don't even move the dot around. I do want to shoot landscapes, but that's the only time I'll move that dot around. So I don't even try and move the dot to the right or move the dot to the left. I much prefer to simply focus and reframe, focus and reframe. But of course there are times when it's best to move the dot. But that's my advice when it comes to the dots. Less in this instance is more. Let's talk about manual mode. Well, manual mode speaks for itself. Just simply switch your lens onto manual mode and then use the focus ring to ensure that you get good, crisp focus. It's very accurate, so we use it in the studio when we shoot commercial work. We use it an awful lot, simply because on the live view I can hit my magnifying button, I can zoom in times 10, I can simply adjust my focusing and get it absolutely crisp and accurate. But there are other times when I'll use manual focus as well. Landscape photography, once again, I'm looking through the viewfinder, I can zoom in, I can look at that oak tree on the right hand side, and again use the focus ring to get it as accurate as possible. That's the reasons why I use manual focusing. Another thing, sometimes I use it with street photography. So using AFS or one shot, I can focus on a point in the road where I know cyclists are going to pass. So if I'm down an alleyway, for instance, if I'm down an alleyway and I'm looking down and I know subjects are going to walk past, I can get myself in a position, and rather than hope that my lens will focus in an instant, which they normally do anyway, but I'm just giving you a time when I would opt to shoot in manual mode when I'm doing street photography. I'll focus on a point where I know either bicycles are going to come past or where people are going to come past. I will focus like on the roadside or the pavement. I will focus. Once I focus, I'll then come back up and simply flick my lens to manual focus. So then when I recompose, every time I take a picture, I'm going to be guaranteed that my focus will be spot on every time, but also my lens won't therefore delay the shot by trying to hunt for focus. That's it, simply that, manual focus. Creating a Squarespace website. It's by far the easiest way to showcase yourself as a photographer online. Creating stunning websites is as simple as choosing a template and dragging and dropping your media. If you want to find out more information and start your 14-day free trial, then head across to squarespace.com/Gary Gough. That's the important part, because that will get you 10% off whatever package you choose. So to summarize then, there isn't a right and a wrong way to focus. There is just the right focus for the given situation. And even then, sometimes it could be a little bit ambiguous. I might prefer one way, someone else will prefer another way. To be honest, it really doesn't matter. As long as you get your head around the system of how you can focus constantly or focus on a single, more importantly, how you can focus and recompose, and of course, to determine the best time to use manual focus, then really it's up to you. It's entirely up to you. Don't let anybody tell you that you should be doing it this way or you should be doing it that way. It's just about you having an understanding of how your focus system works, and then that'll help you get the most out of your camera every time you go out shooting whatever it is you shoot. Get out there, practice, practice, practice. I guarantee you, the more you practice, the more accurate your focusing will become. Good idea might be to bookmark this video and come back to it, so if at any point you get confused in the future, come back to the video and go over it again, and fingers crossed it'll all make sense. Right, that's it. I'd love to know what focus modes you prefer in whatever given situation that you find yourself in whilst taking pictures. Leave a comment below. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, hit that notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.